welcome back. So I have beamed the entire warp, and what that basically means is all of that warp that was in front here is now rolls and rolls and rolls, and in between every roll, there is warp that's hopefully under all the same tension. One of the things that I did not bring you guys along for is when I was done with that, there was some inconsistencies here because the threads stretch in different ways. And I trimmed this down to deal with the inconsistencies so that they were all the same. This here, now remember, this is the bar that the finished cloth goes around, and attached to that bar, this is called the tie-on bar, and we're going to do just that, tie it on. To make sure, again, parallel and perpendicular. And I really like, this is, again, it's the weaver's counting thing, but it's kind of important here because of the tension issues. If I make bundles that are all the same size, it's going to be easier to put even tension on them. So I'm going to make 2 bundles, bring them over to this bar. I'm going to go around into the outside, and then I'm going to tie them together up top. Okay, I'm not going to do a second knot on this right now. I'm going to go through, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to start on both sides so that that bar stays nice and even and consistent. Over, tie them together. I'm going to work my way in on both sides. And the goal is to keep the threads at about the same tension. It's not to have them at a specific tension because I can tension the entire warp on its own, separately from each, as long as the threads are consistent to each other, I can control the rest. One back to the side. I'm hoping that in some of these videos, the beautiful purple does not look like blue because the camera picks up purple as blue, and it's a very different color, and it's really quite stunning. Over time, weavers' eyes get trained to count groups of threads and to see threads differently and more precisely because we're counting all the time. Okay, so that's the first part of the process. Now I need to secure this somehow. So these are not necessarily all at the same tension yet, but within each bundle they're at the same tension. And now I want to make sure that the bundles are consistent from bundle to bundle and that they're secured. All right, so I'm going to start in the middle now and I'm going to work my way out. And the reason for that is because you naturally, as you're working your way out, as you're working your way through the warp, it gets a little bit tighter each time, and my body adjusts for it and kind of loosens up a tiny bit. But if there's any part of the warp you want tighter than any other part of the warp, it's always the ends that you want a little bit tighter, and that helps get great selvages. So I'm going to tighten it, cinch it, and I'm going to tie a half bow tie here. The half bow tie makes it easy to get out later. Like when I get to the end of the warp, I can look at this and I know that I pull on the short ones and that just pops right out. And then I can use this tie-on as part of my fringe. Because really there's a lot of warp that goes into the fringe, and the less waste, the better. This one. Okay, so we just have these two end bundles left, and I like pulling the tension just a little bit tighter on the end bundles. So I'm just gonna kind of by feel, a little bit tighter here. A little bit tighter here. Okay, we are getting much closer to throwing that shuttle. The next video is going to be attaching the treadles so that when my feet step on something, things go up and down, and then we can look at the whole warp, see if I've made any mistakes, and start throwing the shuttle. Thanks for watching.